So in this video, I wanted to give you guys a very in-depth look at these devices, how they compare to one another. If you guys were on the fence about whether or not it's worth $300 or $400 extra dollars to go for the iPhone 10, and in which way it's better, which way it's worse, I'd like to cover all of that in this video, give you guys a better idea about which device is better suited for you. So we're going to be covering everything from software features to hardware and everything in between. So let's get to it. Which device is better suited for you? Now, I'd like to start with what is the same with these devices, because that list is smaller than what's different. So the build, from the outside, these are pretty strikingly different. I mean, one is much bigger than the other. This one fits in the palm of your hand. This one doesn't. I mean, not so comfortably anyways to use with one hand. This is definitely a one-handed operational device, more or less so than the iPhone Plus series. I mean, this is pretty close in size to the iPhone 8 now. They both feature a very similar design with glass on the front and back, and the actual type of glass is the same on both the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus series, as it is 50% harder than the standard glass on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. So that's good in terms of durability. As far as displays go, these guys do have the same technologies when it comes to displays in terms of True Tone. So they will both adjust the ambience of the display to the current color temperature in the room, giving it a more even look. Also, they are both capable of the same brightness. So even though this one is an organic LED display, it is still capable of about 625 nits, the same as the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. Are splash resistant, but definitely don't take them in the pool expecting them to survive. Now, the processing power across all three of these devices is the same. So you're going to get the Apple A11 chip with the Neural Engine and A11 Motion co-processor on all three devices. So they'll all be just as powerful as each other, although it's not confirmed. The iPhone 8 though will be getting a gigabyte less of RAM compared to the 8 Plus and iPhone 10. Now, all of the cameras are 12 megapixel, although only the 8 Plus and the iPhone 10 will be getting the portrait mode. So using an improved version of the existing one, you're going to get that bokeh effect in some certain locations and pictures that you decide to use that on. All of the devices do have the improved flash unit with a 2 times better uniformity when taking pictures in the dark with that flash, so that's good. Both the iPhone 8 Plus and iPhone 10 do have the new portrait lighting mode, which is in beta. And surprisingly, all of the devices can do the 4K 60 frames per second and 1080p at 240 frames per second. Now, on the front of the device, all three cameras do have the same 7 megapixel sensor, although the iPhone 8 can do the portrait mode on the front and the end emojis, which we'll get into in just a second, which the others cannot. All of the devices do have the 64 and 256 gigabyte storage capacity, and all of them do have the Qi wireless standard for wireless charging, and all of them do have fast charging. So that's 30 minutes will give you about 50% battery life. That's pretty good for an iPhone. So that is where the similarities end. I decided to do what's the same so you guys get a general idea of where they stand. But